Are you new to digital art and Procreate app? You want to draw something but you don't know how? In this video I will show you step by step how to draw these 3 simple illustrations. I promise you, you can draw this. If you will enjoy this video and would like to see more content like this, please subscribe, like and leave a comment. And now let's start. First, we are going to create a new canvas, so let's tap on this plus here and pick A4 canvas. Now we are going to create 3 rectangles that will be the basis of our drawings. I made a color palette for this tutorial, so if you want you can download it, link will be in the description, or you can take a screenshot now or from my Instagram stories and then use it to sample the colors. So let's pick this blue color here. We are going to draw a rectangle using the selection tool. So tap here and then at the bottom select rectangle and color fill. Now select any rectangle like this. We want this to be in a specific size, so let's tap on this arrow tool. And now we can tap on one of those points and set it to the size we want. So let's make it 1900 here. Let's turn off this link icon. And here we want to have 2300. Let's move it up here. I forgot to mention that here you should have uniform option selected and snapping turned on. So now let's tap on this arrow tool, and now we want to have 2 more rectangles like this. To do that we can simply duplicate it 2 times. Open the layers and swipe this layer to the left and here pick duplicate. Let's use the arrow tool to move it to the middle of the canvas. Because we have snapping turned on, it will just snap to it. You can see the lines in the middle of the canvas. So now let's do it again. Let's duplicate this layer. Okay, we are going to draw on the first rectangle, so we don't need to see the other 2 rectangles. We can just hide them for now. Let's select the first layer and we can start drawing first illustration. We are going to create a new layer and we want to draw only within that rectangle shape. To do that we have to set this new layer as clipping mask. Let's tap on it and here let's select clipping mask. Now we are going to change the color. We will draw first cloud with this orange color. The brush we are going to use for this is monoline from calligraphy. And now, as you can see, I can draw only within that rectangle shape. You won't see anything I draw outside of it. So let's make the brush bigger. Size 30A will be good. And let's draw a cloud like this. To be able to color this cloud inside, we have to close this shape. So I'm drawing a closed shape outside of this rectangle. If you go to the layers, you can see that there is a closed shape drawn. So now we can just drag and drop the color inside this cloud shape. We are going to draw 2 more clouds like this in a similar way. So let's go to the layers and create a new layer. And we are going to set it as clipping mask. The color we'll use for this cloud is this purple color. If you want to draw nice arcs, you can hold your pencil down on the screen for a second and it will create a nicer arc. If you want, you can also tap on edit shape here and move those points to change the arc. Here again I'm drawing a closed shape and I will drag and drop the color inside. Let's make 1 more layer for a third cloud. Set it as clipping mask, and here the color will be this darker blue. Again, let's draw a closed shape and fill it with the color. Now we can make it more interesting by adding small gradient to each cloud. And that means we want to draw within each cloud shape. We can do that by turning the layer to alpha log. Let's tap on it and pick alpha log. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to make a video with a deeper explanation of masking in Procreate. And now let's get a new color. I'm going to pick a new color from here, a slightly lighter blue color. I will add it to the color palette. Let's change the brush to airbrushing and soft brush. Size I will use is 9%. And now we can just gently add the shading to the top of the cloud. Okay, let's do the same thing to the other clouds. Let's tap on this purple cloud and let's set it as alpha lock. Now we are going to pick a new color. So I'm going to tap on this base purple color and pick a new lighter shade. This one is okay. I will add it to the color palette. And now let's add some light to the cloud. Now one more time for the orange cloud. This illustration is almost done. We are still going to add here some details on the clouds and stars in the sky. Let's create a new layer for that, above all the layers for this drawing. So let's tap on the blue cloud and create a new layer above it. Here we are going to use white color. And we are going to change the brush to Studio Pen from inking. The brush size will be 36%. Draw lines like this, close to the top edge of each cloud. Now let's move on to the stars. You can draw them any way you like. I will mix some different shapes. First let's change the brush to monoline from calligraphy. You can stamp some dots like this. Now let's make the brush smaller and draw some plus signs. Here I'm holding my pen down after each line to make them straight. Let's make one more shape, something like this. I think it looks nice when some of the shapes are empty inside. If you like this kind of style in your illustrations, you can check my stamp brushes and make your drawings faster. Link to them will be in the description. Okay, so our first illustration is finished. Let's move on to the second one. We have to bring back our second rectangle. Let's make it visible and let's tap on this layer. So we will be drawing on it. We are going to change the base color for this rectangle. Pick this blue color from the second line in color palette and drag and drop it into the rectangle. We are going to add some colors for the sky, so we want to draw only within the rectangle. So we are going to set this layer to alpha lock. Now let's pick the second color from the second line, this orange color. We are going to use the selection tool, and with the rectangle and color field turned on, we can color this middle part like this. Tap on the selection tool to turn it off, and do it again with the next color, this purple color. Pick selection tool again and color the bottom of the rectangle. Now we want to blend these colors together. We can do that very quick and easily with Gaussian blur. Go to Adjustments, Gaussian blur, Layer, and now swipe your pencil on the screen to set the size of the blur. You can see it at the top of the screen. My blur size is 60%. Tap here to finish this. And now we are going to add some plants to the foreground of this illustration. We are going to create a new layer for them. And we are going to set it as clipping mask, so we can draw only on that rectangle shape. Now let's pick a color, this fourth color in the second line. For this I will be using Studio Pen from inking. Let's change the brush size to 20%, and we are going to draw simple shapes for the plants. Nothing crazy, this is supposed to be a simple illustration. We can add here a shape like this at the bottom and then draw some more plants. Now we're going to draw similar plants, but in a darker color. Let's create a new layer for them and also set it as clipping mask. We will use next color, so this darker purple color. Let's start with this kind of shape, fill it inside. And now draw same style of plants coming out of the shape. So now we have this, and we are going to add one more element to this illustration. We are going to draw lights. So let's make a new layer for that, and it should be also a clipping mask. The color we'll use is this one. And the brush will be monoline from calligraphy. Size will be 14%. And let's draw two lines like this. These will be wires for the lights. I'm holding my pencil down to make those lines nicer. Now we are going to create one more layer for the lights. And this one should be also a clipping mask. The color we'll use for this is this light yellow. For the lights we are just going to draw circles and then add a shine to them. So let's draw a small circle like this, hold your pencil down on the screen and put your finger on the screen to turn this into a perfect circle. We can either draw those circles one by one, or we can duplicate this layer a few times and move them along the wire. I will just draw them one by one. Okay, let's drag and drop the color inside them. To make those circles look like they are lights, we can use an adjustment called bloom. So let's do it. Pick here layer and now slide your pencil on the screen to adjust the size of the bloom effect. Let's make it 30%. Here at the bottom you can change transition, size and burn. You can play with and see what you like the most. My settings are transition 50, size 37 and burn 59. And this illustration is done. Let me know in the comments which one of today's free illustrations is your favorite. Okay, let's do our last drawing. Let's turn on the last rectangle and let's tap on this layer. We are going to change the color of it. It will be this first color from the third line, so a light pink color. Drag and drop it into the rectangle. Now we want to add another color to this sky, so we are going to set this layer to alpha lock. And the second color we'll use is this yellow one. Now let's go to the selection tool. And here we are going to use this freehand option. And color fill of course should be turned on. Draw random shapes like this and make sure to close this shape so it can be filled with the color. Okay, this is enough. So now we are going to tap on the selection tool to finish using it. And we'll use Gaussian blur to blend the colors. So let's go to the adjustments and pick Gaussian blur, layer, and swipe the pencil on the screen to create a blur. My blur size will be 24%. Now we are going to stay on the same layer and draw a beach. So let's pick a color for that. The next one in the line, so this third light yellow. And here we'll use the selection tool again, but let's use the rectangle option. And the color fill should stay on. Create a rectangle that will be a little bit higher than the middle of your canvas. Finish with the selection tool. And now we'll draw some mountains in the background. Color we'll use for this is this light purple color. We will use monoline brush for this. The brush size I will use is 61%. Draw a shaky line on the sky like this. And now under it, let's draw a straight line. Hold your pencil on the screen to make the line straight, and put your finger on the screen to make it horizontal. Now just color this inside. So now we are going to create a new layer, set it to clipping mask, and we'll draw the sea. So let's get the color for this. It will be this bright blue color. And now draw a straight line that will cover the mountains and the beach. Okay, now let's draw a wavy line at the bottom like this. And we are going to close this shape and fill it inside. Okay, let's make a new layer to add some details to the sea. Let's set it to clipping mask, and the color we are going to use for this is this darker blue color. So we are going to draw a straight line at the top of the sea, and then some shorter lines below it. And as we go lower, let's draw wavy lines. Okay, now we can move to another color from the palette, and that will be this very light blue color. Draw with this color on top of the wavy lines. We are going to create waves like this. We can make the brush smaller and add some thin lines on top of those straight lines. Let's draw also a few wavy lines, why not? And now let's set the brush to maximum size and draw a big wave at the front. Okay, we're almost done. Let's get a new color, and it is just this white color. We are going to draw a bit over the waves. Let's change the brush to 31% and draw some wavy lines in between the dark blue and light blue shapes. Now let's make this brush slightly bigger, maybe 71%, and draw on the front wave, at the bottom of it. When you finish, there's just one more step to do. We are going to go to the layers and tap on this layer here and pick merge down. This way we have now only one layer with the sea. Now we have to duplicate this layer, So let's swipe it to the left and pick duplicate. Now let's tap on the lower layer and we want it to be filled with one color. To do that we have to tap on it again and pick select. Our selection tool came out and it has the color fill option turned on, so now we can pick a color. And it will be this last orange color from the palette. Now in the layers you can see that the whole shape here is in this color. We want to move this shape down to make a shadow under the wave. So let's pick the arrow tool and we can just slightly move it down. Tap on the arrow tool to finish it. And we are done. Our free illustrations are ready. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and please let me know which drawing you like the most. Also, I would love to see your art based on this tutorial, so please if you can tag me on Instagram, I would appreciate it. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!